When the death bells chime, they chime for thee, for whom the bell tolls. I feel like the death bells are chiming on the things of this world. When I see the G20 summit, for instance, discussing the serious nature of this North Korean president who's got nuclear bombs, and he could drop them anywhere in this world. And how dangerous is that? It's like it's the last prophecies in the Bible talking about the death and destruction coming from the east. The Bible says that Armageddon would be coming from the east, and it says the river Euphrates would be dried up, you know, as I said earlier. And if the river Euphrates dried up, it's a prophetical thing, you know, rather than literally happening. So if this happens, this prophetical thing, it talks about the Euphrates drying up, Revelation chapter 16, and that the kings of the east are being prepared, okay, and that the way across the Euphrates from the east, of course, is I believe like aeroplanes, rockets. There's no border, in other words. If there's no river, there's no border to cross. So if we look at the aspect of that, then we know that whatever they discuss in the G20 summit is extremely serious for the world. But the time of the spitting out of fire, brimstone and smoke again is 150 days, which is 5 months in Revelation chapter 9. And if you take that from the first aeroplanes which went up in the air, because it says the face of a man was in this locust which went on the face of the earth, which stung like a scorpion. And what I'm saying is this particular scorpion was that dangerous that it was like had the hair of a woman and that. It descended out of the pit. And for this to ascend out of the pit, we all know that steel is smelted in the pit. And even the first aeroplanes had to be built, the engines, by the smoke coming out of the pit. Because it says the smoke went out of the pit, Revelation chapter 9 verse 1. And out of this came these flying locusts, which spat out fire, brimstone and smoke. So it's a machine, you see. Now, Jesus warned us in the book of Revelation that these things will happen for a reason. And if it's going to last for 150 years, as far as I'm concerned, the 150 years is a time, okay, when we've got another 30 years left, approximately, maybe 40 years. But the Bible describes these things. And it says that they had the sound of many chariots, like that noisy vehicle just now. The noise of many chariots came out of these flying locusts. And again, the time being that for that much longer. So hopefully this world has got another 30 to 40 years left, and the threat from the east will pass. But it is a serious prophetical time when we have the way of the kings of the east being prepared. And China's now a superpower. And it being a superpower, like I said, it's got mountains of steel, miles and miles of it, okay? They've been buying up steel from all around the world, and they've got all the industries now. Now, what if they turned all that industry not to making goods for us, but it was turned to make war weapons? And already they've started making some war weapons. And what if there was an evil agenda, like to spread their communism, something which they want to spread around the world? I mean, how bad would that be? So what I'm saying is that Hitler, he made 800 of those, yeah, cars, you know, Beetles. And the thing is, it was meant for a lot of people. Okay, yeah, a lot of people. So if a lot of people were meant to have these particular, what, beetles, and everybody thought, how great, you know, that this particular, you know, this particular man could make motorways, you know, things like that. And who's going to make these motorways, right? Right, motorways, and cars? Everybody thought, oh, he's making peaceful things. But actually, he was making a huge army. And from what I can see of it, that Hitler went, he got a 1,000-year reign. Yeah? Hitler was after this 1,000-year reign. You know, it was a serious thing to have all these particular things. Anyway, I'm just saying that it's dangerous for these rockets in the line of prophecy. Now, that stars, they said, in 2021, they said it's going to happen 2021, 2022, 30 years later. It takes us up to the same times the Bible gives. And time given, 150 years, which is 5 months, because one day is for a year to you, prophetical, God says, Ezekiel chapter 4. Ezekiel 4 verse 6, God says 1 year is a day, okay, prophetical. And 150 days, or 5 months, is 150 years. And the star, which they said is going to appear. Think about that, the star. It's supposed to appear in a few years' time, yeah? Add 30 years. Where'd you get 30 years from? Oh, Jesus appeared on the scene 30 years after, yeah? 30 years after, we're told, the star appeared over Bethlehem. So that takes at the same time as these 150 years of the airplanes. So I'm wondering, hopefully we've got another 30-40 years and this North Korea threat ends. So but as I say, they're discussing peace, world peace, you see, and the Bible says follow peace with all men, the Bible says, and holiness, without which no man shall see the Lord. And this Parliament peace thing is a biblical thing, and the world leaders are supposed to be God's ministers for preventing evil and getting rid of terrorism and that. As it says in Romans chapter 13. That they are the ministers of God, revengers, executing wrath on them that do evil. They do not bear the sword in vain. They have the power from God to inflict grievous wounds on terrorists. Already they've destroyed ISIS. It's a marvellous thing that they've done that. If they were to destroy the forces of darkness which threaten world peace, like these rockets with the threat of nuclear weapons on them, and the leader of North Korea is just called American bastards, saying that they're fatherless. So if he's saying they're fatherless, he's a great threat, because he's saying they have no father. To say that is to say that they don't have a God. You know, he doesn't believe in God. The North Korea. Now the thing is, if Bush was to land a few nukes, okay, it would be so scandalous, you know, even a small nuclear bomb on those launching sites. And if Russia dropped a big bomb, okay, people would condemn Russia. if China did the same. So you can't go bombing another superpower. You just have to make world peace. I think we've got another 30-40 years in line with prophecy, so I haven't got any worries at all about it. But I could be wrong. What if I was wrong? What if my understanding of the Bible is wrong, that we haven't got 30-40 years? What if these are the death pangs now? What if this is the chimes of time? And they're ringing out the news that the end day is here. What if such a thing was going on? And what if the death pangs, as Apostle Paul talks about, the woman who kind of gave, travailed, talking about prophecy. And the prophetical side of things is that, you know, as the labour of a woman, okay, is a description in Romans. What does he say? He says that there will be an increase, like the death pangs at the end of the world. And we're seeing that now with super typhoons and super hurricanes, and huge tornadoes in America, huge floods worldwide. And Jesus said, you know, the sea and the waves are going to roar, so what roars on the sea will roar on land after the Jews repossessed Jerusalem. So, and that's a global warming thing they talk about, because last year something, the highest world temperatures were ever recorded. It was amazing. But the difference is, we can see the evidence of it. I mean, huge floods everywhere. But doesn't the Bible teach us that God warms the earth, you know? Doesn't the Bible teach us that the sun, you know, and the moon and everything was put in its place by God, set in motion, and, you know, all life continues because God put the sun the right distance from the earth, and the moon to affect the tides, and God set up the whole of the oil in the ground, you know. God put it there so that we wouldn't be riding on horses, 1 billion horses. God allowed us the knowledge. God shall even send them strong delusion, the Bible says. Look at the delusions we've got now. Televisions and radios and, I don't know, all kinds of music and games and all sorts of things which delude the mind. And it says God shall send them this strong delusion that they should believe a lie, that all might be damned who believe not the gospel but had pleasure in unrighteousness. Make sure you believe on Jesus today. And our time is short. I have to go now.